Becca.
What are you doing? Don't. If you cry, I'm gonna cry. Don't make that face.
I'm not doing it.
Don't make that face.
This is my regular face.
One good thing that I've got.
Pitch Perfect 3, Last Call Pitches. And let's hope that this is the last one. My name is Brandon Keith Avery, and this is just my opinion. Hey guys, thank you so much for tuning in to my opinion/review for Pitch Perfect 3. I really do appreciate it. But before we get into the review, help your boy out by clicking that subscribe button. Also click the little bell so you can be notified when I make uploads, and also give me that thumbs up. Let's see if we can get this video to 100 likes. So now we have Pitch Perfect 3. I saw Pitch Perfect 1, saw Pitch Perfect 2. I love the first one. I did not see it in the theaters because I was like, I don't want to see some collegiate a cappella group with a bunch of women. It just, not anything wrong with it, just didn't seem like it was my type of movie. But I remember I was in a barber shop and this dude came in like, y'all got to see Pitch Perfect 3. It was so good. He said more than that. I was like, really? Came on cable and I freaking loved it. I was blown away. I think I gave that movie like a perfect 10, like at home, because I just enjoyed it so much. Then I saw Pitch Perfect 2, which was still good, but it wasn't as great as the first Pitch Perfect. But I do remember afterwards, I would jam the soundtrack, like I would find it on YouTube or whatever and listen to it at work because I really did enjoy the songs. But now we have Pitch Perfect 3. And just real quick, the first film was directed by Jason Moore. The second film was directed by Elizabeth Banks. Elizabeth Banks she's been in all three films. She is one of the commentators or one of the pundits at the collegiate acapella performances or stage Elizabeth Banks is one of the commentators or pundits at the collegiate and the world championship contest or whatever. I can't believe I couldn't say that word. But Elizabeth Banks, she was actually on board to direct the third one, but she dropped out, and now we have someone by the name of Trish C, which I've never heard of before. But Trish C, she did the Step Up All In, which came out in 2014, and the acting and the story in those Step Up movies is not good at all, but that dancing is serious, and I love every moment of it. I will watch Step Up movies to the day I die because of the dancing. And she also won a Grammy in 2007 for a Best Short Film music video that she directed called Okay Go, Here It Goes Again. So, I'm going to give her, 2 thumbs up for directing the movie. Winning a Grammy, excuse me. But now we have Pitch Perfect 3. And in the first Pitch Perfect, the Barton Bellas, they were doing a collegiate competition. And then part 2, that they're doing a world championship. And this one right here in part 3, they're a little bit older. They're out of college. They've been working, jobs for quite some time, trying to delve into their careers and, just live their life. And I kind of found out the hard way that you really can't make any money by making music with their mouths. So early on, they consider themselves in these dead-end jobs. They're not really happy. They're not satisfied with life, and they would do anything to get back together to sing. So, here you go. Opportunity presents itself. There is a foreign competition overseas, or a tour for DJ Khaled. It's a singing competition called the USO Tour, and they found out about that, and through a number of connections, they get on board and they go over to this competition to try to compete. And the winner of this competition will be able to perform with DJ Khaled in one of his videos on one of his tours. The challenge that they have to come up with in this movie is the people that they're competing with do more than sing or make music with their mouths. They use instruments and other tools to, perform all their talents. And so that presents somewhat of a challenge to them. And, that's where the story ensues. Now, as far as the film is concerned, what I really did like about it is what I liked in the first and second film, and that is the singing and them making music with their mouths. I was kind of bored at the very beginning of the movie, not really on board, but once they started singing in the competition, I got to the edge of my seat going like this, just kind of smiling ear to ear, really enjoying myself, because I really did love them going back and forth, singing and competing on the street, on the stage and all that. That's fun. The film did not, die down from there. It actually, I don't want to say it was was better than the previous two films, but you know, it still holds a candle there, and that is the great thing about this film. As far as the story is concerned, there is no story. The story in this movie is horrible. They are reaching, and it's just ridiculous. I mean, 30 minutes into this movie, going in, I was like, okay, are you really going to make a third movie out of this? And, you know, they just didn't have any material. This story is paper thin, and they were just desperate to make a sequel. I mean, this movie was greenlit June 15th of 2015, 1 month after the second film was released, because it was performing well in theaters. But at the same time, you know, they just ran out of ideas, and you can just tell by the characters in the story in this movie that they really just didn't have anywhere to go, and they're just throwing in a bunch of random plot points just to try to keep the story going. You know, for instance, like one thing, and I'm gonna jump to the end of the movie real quick. At the very beginning of the movie, you know, they were just really frustrated, and this just didn't make sense within the plot of the story to me. They were just really frustrated that, you know, hey, we can compete, we can go over there, we don't have anything to do, we are ahead our lives, we hate our jobs, anything we can do to perform. But at the end of the movie, and I don't want to spoil it too much for you because you may want to go in fresh, they all of a sudden the movie tried to end like, okay, hey, you know, we can't sing anymore. I got this promotion over here. This person called me and they hired me for this job. I got this going on. I got this going on. I'm just like, wait a minute. The film is contradicting itself. Earlier in the film, you guys said that you didn't have, you know, jobs or careers that you was proud of. But then at the end of the film, when the movie is about to end, everybody is satisfied and is going to put away their vocal torches and just go start living normal lives and normal jobs. That just really didn't make sense to me. And they tried, like, there was just really no competition either. I mean, everybody that they was competing with didn't care about a competition. You know, they were just there trying to, you know, this was their job. They were bands, they were performers. They actually had jobs doing this or whatever. So whether, you know, they were performing or not, or, well, of course they wanted to perform, but whether they was competing or not, it didn't matter. They was getting a paycheck. So it just was kind of silly to me that the Barton Bellas was taking everything so seriously, like this is just cutthroat, ride or die, we got to do the best. But everybody else is like, look, you know, whatever you guys are taking this much more seriously than we are. You know, we're here, we enjoy what we do, we get a check. So it just, you know, I mean, I don't know. It was very one-sided or whatever. And there was just no, I mean, what made the first two films great is it being self-aware on how corny some of the competitions were. And there's nothing wrong with corny, because you have good corny and bad corny, and the films are self-aware just how serious they were taking these vocal competitions. But that wasn't the case with this third film. So the Barton Bellas just looked stupid, and it was just a bunch of silly randomness as well. Like one scene, they were just like at a party on a boat, and there was like a domino effect out of nowhere. One character fell and knocked over some fire and set some curtains on fire. And it was just a domino effect of characters jumping, flipping, falling over each other, just creating a mess. And I don't know if this was supposed to be funny or something, but it just wasn't. And they also throw in a little thing with Rebel Wilson's character to where her dad pops up. And this was just the dumbest thing in the world. I mean, you kind of knew, okay, where is this going? Are they going to try to tie this in towards the end of the film to try to create some stakes? And they did just that, and it was just ridiculous. And I was just sitting there shaking my head like, oh my gosh, you know, when is this movie going to be over? I mean, I don't know. I really couldn't get behind it. I saw this with my mother, and she didn't like it either. She looked at me, I looked at her, and we're just like, okay, you know, this is just silly. And I really just didn't enjoy the film other than them singing. I mean, that was great, but everything else was, you know, pretty, but I mean, you know, I was entertained slightly, but at the end, when they did the Rebel Wilson thing with the father, that's when it just completely fell apart for me. If I had to give a rating for Pitch Perfect 3 out of a 1 out of 10, I would give it a 4.5 out of 10. Yes, a 4.5 out of 10. But guys, that's just my opinion. Have you seen Pitch Perfect 3, or do you want to see it? Have I turned you on? Have I turned you off? Do you agree with me, or do you disagree with me? Let me know in the comment section below. Let's get this conversation going and keep it flowing. If you like this video, go ahead and give me a thumbs up. And if you don't, that's fine. Subscribe to my channel. Check me out on my website. Go there and look me up on social media. Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, all that good stuff. It's right there at the bottom of your screen, and I made it very easy by providing a link to all that good stuff down in the description box below. But guys, I just want to thank you again for tuning in to my opinion/review for Pitch Perfect 3, directed by Trish C. And before you go, don't forget that my name is Brandon Keith Avery, and that's just my opinion. Peace.